Right, good afternoon. It's just gone 5 o'clock on Tuesday afternoon. It's the first day of the Royal Signals Carp Angling Championships 2018 and we're on Naseby Reservoir. I've drawn with Dan just on the right hand side of the point, so we're facing up along the dam wall, which is all up there to our right. And we've come up with quite a simple plan: fish at reasonable range, sort of like 80 to 90 yards, and fish with simple rigs. So I've got method feeder out at the moment, but my right hand rod is currently in close as a post just down there, about 50 yards out. So I've got the right hand rod on that with just a little stringer at the moment, just trying to make something happen. And I hate using the finger, but I had to in this case. Right, if anything good happens I'll update you, and I'll probably update you in the morning when I've got a big fat breakfast anyhow. Right, catch you in a bit. Right, good afternoon. It's 26 hours into the Carp Champs. Status update goes like this. One fish has been caught by a pair on the dam wall. Nobody else has had a fish. The weather is awful, and it's only going to get worse until tomorrow morning when the sun comes out. That's about it really. Update done. Speak to you in the morning. Right, good morning. It's about 9 o'clock on Thursday morning. As you can see, the weather's taken a decided change for the better. Last night one more fish came out as far as I'm aware, which is a 12 pounder from the peg to my left, which is Chris. He had that about 2 AM. And that's it really. It's been pretty pants. It's not fishing as Naseby should do, and to be perfectly honest, I don't care anymore. So tomorrow I'm off to Southwick Park to peg it, ready for a match next week, and I just meh. We'll see what happens from there. Right, if I don't see you before with a nice fat carp in my hands, I'll see you tomorrow. Ciao for now. Right, good morning. You join me today. I'm on a place called Southwick Park Lake. Got back from Naseby yesterday afternoon, having come via Boddington, getting ready to prep it for an army match next month. And I've decided to pop down on here for a day just to have a look at the lake, the lay of the land basically, because I'm fishing here next weekend, and get a bit of practice in as well. I've had two so far, both mid doubles, a 14.5 pound common and 17.5 pound mirror, so I'm quite happy at the moment. We'll see how things go from here. I'm trying a couple of bits and bobs out, and yeah, that's it really. If I catch anything good I'll show you. Other than that, I'll speak to you in a bit. More like the average stamp, about £7. Let's get another one. Right, it's 5:30. I'm up to 6 fish now. So in order, they were 14.5, 17.5, about 12 because I didn't weigh it. Then I've had the £21.5 about an hour ago, and 2 little mid-singles since then. all off the same line. I've tried another spot that I put some bait in and nothing's happened on that. I've been pinging floaters and all I've attracted with those is ducks, but it is quite cold still. And I put a bit of bait in down the edge, and I'm not getting any signs over that either. So it's looking interesting for next week, let's put it like that. Right, if anything good happens, I'll update you. Failing that, I'll see you in a bit. Right, good afternoon. It's just gone 4:30 on Friday afternoon, and it's day one of the army match at Dryad. So far, Chris and I have had a fish each. Chris has just sat to my right, he's chucking across to the tree and putting his other rod 3/4 of the way across. I've had mine on a random method feeder chuck. And that's about it really. It's pretty slow for a start. I think one of the pegs, early pegs, is having it off. They've got possibly £100 already. We certainly aren't looking like doing anything like that down here. There were fish here yesterday, there aren't now. Right, good morning. It's 8:45 on Sunday morning. So the match is almost finished. We're 2 hours out from the end of the match, and Chris and I are currently on 240 odd pound, which gives us third, we believe. Two of the pegs up the other end have got 400 and 280 pound respectively. Yeah, we're gonna have to do some to catch them, bearing in mind that our bites don't usually come during the day. But yeah, that's it. It's been all right. It's been enjoyable. I had nearly 20 carp, up to about £10. But yeah, that's what you get for coming to a little water like this. Right, I'm not going to bother showing the results. I'll chat to you next time I'm on the bank, which will probably be next weekend now. So when I figure out where it's going to be, I'll let you know. Ciao for now. Right, good afternoon. It's Friday afternoon. It's a bit of an odd one for me. I haven't got a Friday night, so I've only got a few hours. And I've come down to Walden's Farm for my first soiree of the year, because all the main club lakes are shut. This week I was off at Dryad last weekend for the army match. Yes, Chris and I did eventually come third with about £240. It was a hard slog. Most of the bites came during the night, so it was a bit uncomfortable to say the least. Since I'm after a little bit of easy fishing. Now then, I've been down here about, I don't know, 40 minutes or so. I've done a lap around the main carp lake here, and I found a load of fish in this corner. So I've pinged out a few floaters, and as you can see, they're a bit active on it. I've got like 2 main shoals of fish which are doing laps around the island. I've just got a shoal coming in now, so I'm going to sneak up on the rod and try and see if I can do any good. So wish me luck. Right, good evening. It's 6:30 on Friday night. I'm very late getting to the lakes. I'm on Walden's Farm again, and I'm trying, I don't know if you remember, but a few years ago I tried a 5 from 5 challenge to catch a fish from each of the 5 lakes down here, and I failed miserably. Well, I'm out for revenge tonight. I've got probably 18 hours, and I'm giving it a quick bash, see how we get on. Anyway, I am on, I think it's Popes or Monks. It's one of the smaller fish lakes. For a start, I've pre-baited the 2 main carp lakes. I've pre-baited a couple of spots in there. The 2 swims I fancied on the main carp lake next door have both been taken by other guys who are fishing for the night. And so it's going to be a little bit of softly and bouncing around quite a bit. I've got about an hour of daylight before I need to decide where I'm fishing for the night. And even then I might move in darkness. But yeah, I've got fish taking floaters, so I'm going to get some rods in and see what happens. Wish me luck. Here we go, beautiful little koi. She's had a little bit of an incident with an otter recently that I've just treated, but hopefully she'll go back fine, full of spawn. Right, let's see if we can get a couple more on the other lakes. Right, so that little fish was a good start off the smaller lake down there, Popes I think it is. I'm up on Bishops, which is the koi lake, koi and pike lake, and what I've done is I pre-baited up against those lilies earlier, so I put the rod on there at the moment, and I'm just watching and waiting, hoping that something will give itself away. I've put a bit of floating pellet down the margin, I put a bit of floating pellet in the lilies, I put a bit of floating pellet up against a snag on the island, up and around to my right, and I'm just waiting to start seeing a set of lips come up, which will hopefully happen in the next half an hour or so, because if it doesn't, it'll be dark. And then if it's dark, I can't really catch them off the top. So when it gets dark, proper dark, I'm going to give this about an hour. I'm going to move on to the next lake where I've been pre-baiting again, give that the night. If I catch there, then I'll move up onto here for the night. And what I'll probably do is fish this swim. Oh, got a bit of fizzing on my rod there, and we'll see how it goes. Right, that's getting a bit exciting. There is actually fizzing coming up on my rod, so fingers crossed that's going to go in a minute. Anyway, I'm going to get a kettle on because that's a guaranteed method for getting a bite. I'll speak to you in a minute. Right, as you can see, I've moved again. It's just coming up on 9 o'clock, so this is going to be my swim for the night. As you can see by all that fizz down there, I've been pre-baiting this spot all day. Well, all day, for the last couple of hours since I've been here. And as I've come down, the water's just been absolutely covered in patches of fizz. So as I've walked in, I've put about 40 grains of corn, followed up by the rig, walked the rig back in and give it about half an hour, and I'm very expectant of good things. In fact, they're starting to fizz again now at the back of the spot. So it's looks good. I'm going to leave the camera running. Hopefully I'll get one on film. If not, big camera set up, I'll get some good photos during the night. Alright, wish me luck. Right, good morning. It's 10 to 8. Last night was pretty uneventful actually. I was up on the other lake. It was fizzing well when I got there, and then after I put the baits in, the fizzing stopped. No fish showed, and it was really quiet. It got to about 6 o'clock this morning. Some more guys turned up, traipsed past my margin spot, so I decided to move back up here. On coming up here, I've had a pickup on the right hand rod that I've dropped. Basically turned the hook bait onto the hook point. There's been a little bit of fizzing going on, some really subtle little shows, little signs going on in the lilies. So I'm just going to put a little bit more bait in, redo the left hand rod, redo the right hand rod, and then give it another hour or so before I think about making a mooch somewhere else or doing something else. Right, see if we can make something actually happen. I'll speak to you in a bit.